Welcome back, Fun Fam, and if you're brand new to the channel, welcome in to Follow the Bradleys Fun. My name is Ron E. Bradley, and you are watching The Daily Dish with Ron E. Bradley because I'm here. That makes sense. My goodness, welcome in, everybody. I hope that wherever you are, you're having a phenomenal day or morning or afternoon, evening, night, middle of the night, whenever you're watching. If you're watching this on the live stream on the East Coast, it's morning at least. So it could be the afternoon if you're in the UK or elsewhere across the pond. But I do hope that you are having an absolutely phenomenal day and a pretty good new year so far. Although a lot of the day yesterday, I slept more than I expected to on New Year's Day. maybe I was up. I guess I didn't sleep that well New Year's Eve into the first because I went to sleep, right? I went to sleep at like 11. And instead of staying asleep, I woke up to celebrate the New Year's at midnight. And then, it's one of those things where if you ever had that happen to you, you go to sleep and your body is ready to sleep, but then you get woke back up and then you can't really get back to complete sleep. And I think that's how it was. I don't think I had a really, really good sleep on New Year's Eve. I went back to sleep at like 1:30, but it wasn't that deep, restful sleep that you need to heal your body. But now I had a good sleep last night, and yes, I had a good sleep last night, and I've got some caffeine this morning. So let's welcome everybody in. Welcome everyone to the chat. Let's see who all is here on this morning. Oh my goodness. Oh, sorry. I'm a little bit. I'm not tired. There are late breaking things that I'm trying to figure out doing. Let me do this real quick. There we go. All right, so let's welcome everybody in. First in the door this morning was Native Hawaiian. Aloha and good morning, y'all, from Texas. Native Hawaiian says, don't mind me, I'm stealth listening while I make breakfast. Make me some, man. You got anything good? My breakfast diet is about to consist of almost only Cheerios and half a banana for the next little while because I'm going on a diet. People say don't diet, change your lifestyle. Well, that's never really worked for me, so I'm going on a diet because diets have worked for me in the past. The question is when I need to notice when the diet phases itself out and ends, and I kind of make that transition and I don't notice. But if I can take notice of it this time, especially if I can have really good success and then take notice of it, then I will be okay. Hanging with Erica and Raph is here. And I sent you a message on X just to let you know. She says, good morning to Native Hawaiian. Native Hawaiian says, good morning to Hanging with Eric and Raph. Dude, man, cuz is in the house. Dude, what is up, dude, man? Cuz. The Bud Files Sue is here. Good morning, the Bud Files. Good morning to my mom. Kathleen Fantasia is in the house. Yes, I got it. Thank you. She knows what I'm talking about. And morning, Bud Files, dude, man, cuz. Jonathan Ruman says, hi, Rod. Did you hear about the employee working? It's a small world. They had to wear rubber waders to assist guests stuck in the boats for 45 minutes. I haven't heard about possibly the most recent incident of that, but I have heard of that happening, unfortunately, several times as of late on not just Small World, but also Pirates, also Grand Fiesta Tour, and some of the other boat rides. For some reason, they are really good about keeping up living with the land from going down. It's pretty good. Like, I don't know, it has pretty consistent living with the land. Maybe it's because it has so many people working there for the garden and stuff. I don't know. Dude, man, cuz says, morning, hanging with Eric and Raph. Juliet is in the house. Juliet, it's so good to see you here. Afternoon, everyone. Happy New Year to you. And Maritza's Yarn and Crafts has dropped in some crocheting for us all. So thank you so much for that. We appreciate that. So I want to let people know, people who may be watching this on the replay, people who might be new to the channel, that one of the things we like to do is celebrate all of you, because like the Transformers need their Energon, you are my Energon. You are the Energon that makes this guy transform and roll out of bed in the morning. And for that, we thank you and we like to celebrate you. And so we have some celebrations on the channel. If you want to give anything like a PayPal donation or a buy me a coffee, a super chat, super thing, super sticker. It's hard to believe it's the new year. I gotta start getting some things done and get some things going in some of these apps, especially buy me a coffee. It's like my Patreon. But yeah, PayPal, buy me coffee, super chat, super things, super stickers. If you become a member of the channel, or if you have a member celebration chat, or if you drop gifted memberships, any of those types of things, we like to celebrate. And we have several celebrations on the channel, a couple short, one long. I'm going to show you one of the short ones right now. So we want to thank you for being here. Let's celebrate. There we go. Got some member only emojis. And Dan, have a good day at work. Dan says he's headed to work. Dude, man, cause what is up? What is up? I have a busy day today. So today's early morning show, this show, the Daily Dish, is probably going to be a little bit shorter than usual. Hello, Fairbrooks. Good morning. Good afternoon. Wayne is in the house. Listen, so I think I'm supposed to be on the WDW Pro Show today. I'm not 100% sure, but I believe I'm supposed to be on the Pro Show. And then after the Pro Show, later on today, I will be on T3PO, and I believe that's at 5 o'clock today. I will also be working on videos for this channel because yesterday I was starting to work on one of those videos, and that's when my energy went, nope, you're not doing it, buddy. You're going to go to sleep. So that's what happened. But I got to get some of those done, and I will be using this weekend, of course, to work on a lot of that, because if I can, put them in the hopper, that will help to make sure that I can get a video out every single day outside of the Daily Dish. Oh, speaking of, it looks like we have somebody who has surprised us. Oh, my goodness.
Doc, calm down, okay? Just calm down. It's me, it's Marty.
No, it can't be you. I sent you back to the future.
Hey, Doc, that's right, but I came back again. I came back from the future. Don't you remember last night? You fainted. I brought you home.
This can't be happening. You can't be here. It doesn't make sense for you to be here. I refuse to believe that you are here.
Yeah, and she is here. She's from the future. Well, it is much as Juliet and Wayne from Fairbrook Studios are also from the future. Welcome into the house, Erica from Erica and Raph. Good morning, Erica.
Good morning or evening.
Or afternoon. What time is it over there? 2:30?
At 3:47.
3:47. Oh my gosh, 3:47. 3:47. Do you change times over there like we do with the whole daylight savings?
Yeah, we do it here too. Yeah.
Okay.
In Japan, they don't.
I know there are places in the world that don't have daylight savings. Florida has been trying for years to get off of not daylight savings, but get off of standard time. So Florida wants to do daylight savings time year round. So in other words, right, if we did that right now, it would be, let's see, spring forward, it would be what, 10:48 instead of 9:48 right now. So that would make things really interesting for me, because I'd probably have to do this show starting at 8:30 in the morning. Oh god, I can't even get up now, man. I'm so tired. Most of my life I have worked evening jobs, and so it's like I've set up my life to where, and I will say, gosh, from, I don't know, I don't remember exactly what my schedule was back in 2000 when I was a gondolier for the Venetian. I would probably work some late nights then, and I might have had some early mornings. But when I've worked as a server, it's always been the dinner shift. So it's always been like come in at 2 or 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon and work until, I mean, there are days I worked from 2 to like 1 o'clock in the morning, but still my energies were like evening time, right? That's like 6 to 7 o'clock when I get busy, your brain goes, energy, kick in, you got to go now, right? Does that automatically. And I did shows for years in Branson, Missouri. All of those shows, none of them were morning shows. They were all afternoon and evening shows. So we'd have a call time at like 1 p.m. to get ready for a 2 p.m. show. And then you'd have a break in the day, and then you go back at like 6 o'clock and get ready and do a 7 o'clock show, 7 to 9 p.m. So all of that stuff. And then we'd stay up and we'd have, we were entertainers, so there was always some kind of a party or gathering after the show. I don't know, like I've never been a partier, but man, entertainers for the most part, they just, I don't know. I never fell into the category, like the lifestyle personality category of an entertainer. I just wanted to do the job. So I would show up and I would do my stretching and vocal warm-ups and get on stage and do my job and entertain the audience. And then I'd want to go home. And everybody else was like, let's go out, let's party, let's drink. And I'm like, I don't drink. So I don't know. It's different. So what is it like being a military person? What's that schedule like? I think you're muted.
Sorry. I'm have the onset of a cold I'm fighting, so I'm trying not to be all in the microphone.
You're good. I unmuted you, so.
Yeah, if you're active duty, you're pretty much on standby 24/7. So even if you have a quote office job that's relatively Monday through Friday, in the back of your mind, you could be called in at any point for anything, for training, exercise, or real world scenarios. And we've had a
So
few of those off and on over the years. Um, it's it's jolting, it just kind of rips the rug from under you, but you just immediately go into go time. All right, we gotta go, we gotta go. You know, and as a spouse, you encourage it, you support it, you say, okay, go, I got this. What do you need? I'll help you pack. Um, just go. You got a mission to do. You know, and at least
it
a
kind
good
of
military spouse does that.
reminds me of the situation of the television show that I've been watching lately, which is Chuck. You ever heard of Chuck?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so Chuck ran from 2007 to 2012, 5 seasons. And I never caught on to the show when it was running, when it was airing, but it starred Zachary Levi. And Zachary Levi has piqued my interest lately because he was willing to forego the typical Hollywood situation and actually support the current president-elect, and came out very publicly in so doing. And he's a very prominent Hollywood actor, Disney actor, Marvel actor, DC actor. I mean, this is a guy he played Shazam in the DCEU. He played Fandral, I think was his name, in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, one of the Warriors 3 for Thor in both the Dark World and also Ragnarok. And he also played Flynn Rider in Tangled. So prominent Disney actor, Hollywood actor, actually coming out in support of President Trump was pretty wild. And he's like, I don't really care because Hollywood doesn't have anything left for me because they're basically Hollywood. He said Hollywood's going in the can. And it was cool. So I'm like,
Wow.
so I want to see what his early work looked like. And that early work was Chuck. He started that series, and I didn't know what it was about other than he was supposed to work at the Geek Squad at Best Buy. But in the series, they don't call it that. They call it the Nerd Herd at a place called Buy More.
The
So
nerd herd.
the Nerd Herd, right? So
That's a good one. I'm
well,
gonna
the
remember
funny
that
thing
one.
about that for me is that in 2007, when the show first came out, guess what I was? I worked at the Geek Squad at Best Buy. So I remember the show coming out, and I'm like, I don't think I want to watch a show about my own pathetic life, because that's what I thought of myself at the time. I'm like, I can't believe I work for the Geek Squad. I can't believe I work at Best Buy. I had been performing in Branson for several years in some very prominent shows. I had just had my face spread on television commercials and billboards for years at that point. And I'm like, I cannot believe I have taken the step back and work at Geek Squad for Best Buy. And so I'm definitely not going to watch a show about my own life. But that's not what the show is actually about. That is simply the backdrop. Because at the time he's working there, the funny thing is, like, I start watching it and I'm like, he feels exactly about working there the way I felt about working at Geek Squad at Best Buy. He hates it, and it's horrible. But it ends up being a backdrop and a cover for him as a spy, because he becomes a reluctant spy because he's given an information dump into his brain of all of the government secrets that exist in the CIA and the NSA and every government organization, FBI, every single government secret was downloaded. All the databases were downloaded into his brain, and now he has all that. And so he has to be used by the CIA and the NSA as an asset for them, because he has information that they need when they go on missions. And so throughout the entire series, he's in the middle of situations like a Valentine's Day celebration, and all of a sudden he has to drop everything and go on a mission. So that's kind of why.
A vague memory of this storyline. I'm wondering if Raph had said something to me about that show or a show similar to that.
Well, I'm trying to finish it up
Now
because
it's sounding familiar. Like,
yeah, well, it's called Chuck. I think it's on Prime. I don't know what you guys get over there in Germany, so it's on. I'm
we
watching it
have
on
Prime,
Max.
but it's a German one.
Yeah, so I don't know, but anyhow, it's a fun series to watch. Zach Levi he's hilarious. He's like the perfect person for the role because he can come across as a little bit nerdy, a little bit geeky, kind of funny, but when he needs to be leading man, he's leading man. Like he really has a range. And I think, and he says he's kind of admitted to that character being basically who he is as a person. Like he didn't really have to play anything. He just was himself. But you got to think if he's just himself and he's able to come across and has this wide range, it's probably the right role for him to end up getting selected for all of those other things that he got selected for, from Shazam to Flynn Rider to whatever other, and he's obviously in a ton of other movies, but now he's created his own production company. And I haven't really wanted to do, I might end up doing a whole video on that eventually, but I don't know what's happening with it. I know he has a new movie coming out, and I don't know if it's his production company, but in the movie, he plays the father of an autistic son. And it's a true story. And I don't know exactly how it's going to play out, but it looks like it's going to be interesting. So we shall see. I'm trying to say, I see in Florentin came into the chat. Hello, Happy New Year, Ron and Erica, 2025. Hello, Happy New Year. It's Florentin. Good to see you in the chat. I don't know if we have. I'm trying to see. I know Dan's Life at the Kingdom probably had to go to work, and he's a wrench. I'm trying to see other wrenches who might be in the chat. I don't know who else here, but if somebody can do a culture watch for me, I'd appreciate it because I haven't been able to find Culture Casino's link. I don't know if it's up yet, but like I said, I'm probably going to end early today. Oh, it is. Okay, the legacy of an administration. All right, let me see if I can link to Culture real quick, and then I will get to the couple of stories that we have for the day. So I have to go over here. I have to do this on my phone, so I apologize for looking down. Erica can keep you all entertained for the next minute or two.
I was looking at Culture's link.
Did
you need it?
I have to do it this way through the YouTube studio online because that's how you link it. All right, so it's just kind of a pain. I wish there was an easier way
for New Year's.
What did we do?
Talking to the chat. Mm-hmm.
Oh, yes.
And the chat, just in general. What everyone do for New Year's? We just stayed home,
please.
And I made a lot of like finger foods, and my son had 2 friends that came over.
You made food out of fingers? That's disgusting. Why are you eating people's fingers? I always say that when people talk about character dieting at Disney. I'm like, why would you want to eat the characters? Don't diet on the characters. That's awful. Character dieting. Why would you do such a thing? Don't eat Pluto. I guess there's a couple of Clarabelle the cow would probably be okay, right? Yeah, some hamburger.
So what kind of diet are you going on? I have Raph on a keto, low carb type diet. Whatever's
all right. So what I'm going to be doing,
whatever's good for diabetics, basically.
I'm doing something that was specific to what worked for me in 2010, and it was very unusual. It gets very, very boring. It's basically the same thing every day.
Oh. Like eating clean every day, chicken and broccoli type.
Not really chicken and broccoli though. It's not. I hardly ever eat chicken and broccoli actually. But what worked for me in 2010 was that my breakfast was Cheerios. My lunch was basically just a sandwich, and instead of doing chips, I would do carrots and celery. A deli meat sandwich, lettuce, tomato, mustard, maybe some pickles, whatever, and then carrots and celery for in place of chips because I need something crunchy on the side. Then I would do either yogurt or cottage cheese with pineapple as a snack, usually yogurt and fruit. And then
I've
I
had
would
peaches and cottage cheese. That's good. I never thought of pineapple. I could see it.
It's good. And then then I work out, and at the end of my day after my workout, I would usually do Shakeology or some other type of protein drink, and that's it. That's all I would eat for the entire day, which means no sweets, no chocolate, no nothing.
Yeah.
Basically, that was
Very low
6
calories.
days, very low calorie, 6 days a week. Make sure I do a full, 24-hour fast at least one day a month. That kind of thing. It's not really keto. It was just very, very low calorie. And and then if I wanted to snack throughout the day, I could always grab some grapes or something very, very low calorie to just snack on.
Mhm.
Okay,
Yeah,
this
I did
is
Noom about 2 years ago.
how was that?
And all it really is all it really is just nutrition, education more than anything. Similar to Weight Watchers. Sorry, guys, I have a slight sore throat, so
Oh, you're
if
good.
this is annoying you with my voice and these things, I'm eating them like candy right now. But
Candy is dandy, but liquor is quicker.
I hate
So that's a Willy Wonka thing.
But yeah, I did Noom and it worked. It shed the last like 10 pounds I needed to shed. Because I was pre-diabetic, so I was really trying to reverse that. Finally got my labs down to normal, and now I've got Raph on it. I know he's a male, so the male anatomy is like and physiology can be very different than a female, especially at our age. So,
It's going to
in
be
the
interesting
meantime,
to
I have him on a
see. Yeah. It's going to be interesting to
similar
see
diet.
how this works for me this year because this worked in 2010. It's 15 years ago. So I want to see how my body reacts to it in the first 2-3 weeks. It won't really start until Monday because we still have a lot of New Year's Eve leftover type stuff to get to. But I will wean my way into it along with working out and see what happens because I have a lot of weight. I need to lose at least 70 pounds, if not 75, unless I become very, very muscly, then I would need to lose a lot less, but I want to get my body fat down. It just depends on how much muscle I gain during the process. So if I start gaining a lot of muscle weight, I may not need to lose as much actual weight, but I need to lose the body fat in particular. But let's do this real quick. I know we haven't had any supers or any of that stuff yet, but I want to do a quick transition of a celebration before we go into stories. So because you're all watching, let's celebrate.
Is it too much? Too much? It's perfect! Oh, this is just the best of my scene.
All right, let's get into a couple things that I want to get into story wise. We talked about how busy or not busy Disney has been this year, and of course it's been busy just the last couple of days, like New Year's, like the weekend, specifically the weekend between Christmas and New Year's was really busy. Leading up to a couple of days before New Year's Eve and New Year's Day was probably pretty busy too. But what I want to show you, I'm going to put this on the screen. Let's see here. This was Disney back in let me blow it up bigger. This was Disney back in 2019. All right. Now look at this. So there's a huge difference between busy in 2019 and busy now. For those who have not been paying attention, it did not get like this year. This is not coming out. This is going in. This is out of Blog Mickey, and this was December the 31st of 2019. So 5 years ago. Let's see if I can. Let's see. I don't want to blow it up on the screen. Last time I did that, I messed some things up. But that is the traffic. And you can tell it was 5 years ago because the signs have changed colors since then. That was a 2.5 mile long line to get into the parks, the Disney parks, Walt Disney World, on New Year's Eve of 2019. Okay. It does not look like that. It has not looked, I haven't seen traffic like this into Disney World since then. This is probably the last time that we saw traffic like this going into Disney World at all. And that is why I wanted to bring that up, because it's just a follow-up to the story of how less crowded it's actually been this year. And then, oops, put us back on the screen this way. Yeah, Native Hawaiian says, I was there for New Year's Eve 2019. It was a literal short show. Short show. It was a ship show. It was a pirate show.
It's not hard to imagine.
Yeah. So, yeah. Native Hawaiian was in that traffic somewhere. It was I saw your car. I think it was the little white one there. No, I'm just kidding. I have no idea what you drive. But yeah, it was kind of a mess. And I wanted to show, there was a couple you were asking about you were asking about New Year's Eve, and I wanted to see if I can find it. No, I don't want pictures of Kamala. No, I don't need that. So my wife makes a Venezuelan spread on New Year's Eve, and I wanted to show you some of the pictures from that. And I don't know if you'll think this looks delicious or if you'll think it looks gross, just depending on your perspective. Wait, we saw some. Good morning, panel, mods, and chat. Happy New Year. Feliz Año Nuevo. Froces Bone Ani. And you might appreciate this, what I'm about to put on the screen, because it is Venezuelan food. So we're going to put this up here. Now, what you're looking at on the screen on the right side is, it's cut up a little bit already, but it's an ayaca. Now, this has different types of meat inside, as well as olives, raisins, corn. It's like a cornmeal type of a crust, but it's it's a long process to make an ayaca. So I ended up purchasing them from the store, but you have to make them with banana tree leaves, and it's a very, very long process. My mother, what's that?
Is it like a tamale or a mofongo?
It has so similar in a way. It's similar in a way to a tamale type of crust, but it's made a little bit different. On the left of that is our pernil, which is shoulder. Super, super good. Behind that is, I believe, the chicken salad. It's Venezuelan style chicken salad, or ensalada con pollo, and pan de jamon is in the back. And I think I've got different angles of this. There's the pernil up close, and there is the pan de jamon. As you can see, it's a pan de jamon just means ham bread. So you've got the ham and bacon wrapped inside with olives and raisins, and it's sweet. There's like a honey type coating on the top of it. It is super, super delicious. And we eat this every year, Christmas time, and New Year's Eve. So it is good stuff. I'm very fortunate with that. The other thing that I like about it is so often you get kind of the same meal for Christmas, New Year's, Easter, and Thanksgiving in the United States with
Yep.
the ham and or turkey, and then all the sides are exactly the same always, which is like the green bean casserole, the stuffing, the corn casserole, the candied yams, and mashed potatoes and macaroni and cheese, and those are all good. But it's nice to have the Venezuelan because that kind of mixes things up. So we'll typically do the more traditional Thanksgiving and Easter meals, and then the Christmas and New Year's meals. Not like the Thanksgiving and Easter will be like more the American style, and we'll do more the Venezuelan style at New Year's.
Yeah, we always mix it up.
And then the other thing, we didn't have them at midnight, so I had to go get them the next day. But we had I had my black eyed peas for good luck. And I don't know if that was ever a thing for you, Erica. Was that?
It kind of was, but I hate black-eyed peas. They smell, and I don't like the taste of them
They
either.
smell very specifically like
Ugh.
dirt. Dirt is what they smell like. Like if you have fresh dirt in your hand,
Yeah, I know.
soil, that's what they smell like. So you're like, I'm eating dirt. But that was the
Yeah,
black
no,
eyed
I
peas,
do not like black-eyed peas.
and then for the Venezuelan tradition, we eat 12 grapes. I guess there's one
12
grape for
grapes,
each
yeah,
month
that's what
for
we
good
do.
luck.
Yeah.
So we did that as well. So
Everybody do
a lot
that.
of Happy New Year type stuff. Food looks yummy. It is. It was very, very, very good. Yes, my wife is Venezuelan. It's Florentin. And James Dozier comes in and says, Happy New Year, everybody. So yeah, I wanted to kind of get to that before we get to the main story, which I gotta find. It's out of that Park Place, but I have the wrong story up. I know I had the. There it is. All right. So this is a story out of that Park Place from yesterday. And of course, it is by our good friend Marvin, the movie monster Montanero. Avengers actor Mark Ruffalo attacks Elon Musk in a resurfaced meltdown, claims we are the ones to believe in. And actually, I'm going to have to unshare this for a second so that I can share the audio on this tab. Let me bring this tab back, but I'm going to bring it back with audio because you kind of have to hear what Mark Ruffalo says in order for this story to make sense. And it's not necessarily what I would call anything good. But here, we'll put this back on the screen. So here it is. Out of that Park Place by Mr. Marvin Montanero on the 1st of January, 2025. Avengers actor Mark Ruffalo attacks Elon Musk in resurfaced meltdown, claims we are the ones to believe in. In a recently resurfaced meltdown that's making the rounds on social media, actor and activist Mark Ruffalo melted down at tech mogul Elon Musk, addressing concerns over climate issues and perceived changes in Musk's public persona. Now, this is a funny thing to me because this is proof positive that it doesn't matter what you believe in if you are perceived, because Elon Musk was perceived to be part of the left, right? But he never himself claimed that he was on the left or leftist or anything like that. But of course, a lot of the things he does are trying to help improve environmental concerns, like going to electric vehicles, right? But so the left used to embrace Elon Musk. Now, Elon Musk himself hasn't really changed. He's always been for freedom of speech. The reason he came aboard President Trump's team is because President Trump built a coalition of people with all kinds of different schools of thought. The left doesn't like different schools of thought. They want everybody to think exactly like they do because they believe that they are right, everyone else is wrong, and if you're wrong, you don't belong in society. That's kind of what it seems like, at least they're trying to put out there. But so it says, during a widely circulated video posted on the social media platform X From before the 2024 presidential election, Ruffalo did not mince words, labeling Musk a quote-unquote two-faced turncoat traitor, end quote. He even criticized the X and Tesla owner for losing his South African accent, something that does naturally happen to a lot of people when they live in a new area for a prolonged period. And this is kind of funny. So here, let me just play this for you, and then we'll go into the rest of the story.
Elon Musk is such a two-faced turncoat traitor because he was a climate champion and he sold himself out for a buck and some power. Don't follow that guy. That guy doesn't even have his original accent anymore. Don't follow him. Don't listen to him. We're the ones who we have to believe in. We're the ones who we're waiting for, and we are the ones that have to move forward together.
All right, so of course it sounds kind of like he is. The funny thing about that is that Elon, he's still a climate champion. Like, as far as, like, it's one of the things that President Trump has specifically said he disagrees with Elon on. Okay, but that doesn't. But here's the cool thing about President Trump: he wants diversity of thought on his team. And that is called being intelligent. If you're intelligent, diversity doesn't mean surface level diversity. Diversity doesn't mean, oh, well, this person is a guy but dresses like a girl, or this person's black, or this person's Indian, or this person's Asian, or this person's Spanish, or this person's white, or whatever. And we have, no, that's not what diversity means. If you're intelligent, diversity does not mean surface level stuff. It means diversity of thought. People that don't think alike, but do think together, because that's how problems actually get solved in the world. So let's see what the rest of the story is. He criticized Musk for what he perceives a departure from his original stance on climate advocacy, which is not true. Like, Elon Musk hasn't departed from that. So there's the quote. You can see Elon Musk such a two-faced turncoat traitor because he was a climate champion, sold himself out for a bucket of power. Anyway, you saw that quote. The statement left many viewers puzzled, particularly regarding Ruffalo's reference to "We're the Ones." Speculation abounds as to whether Ruffalo was addressing Hollywood celebrities, climate change activists, a general public, or another group entirely. Yeah, it kind of sounds cultish, doesn't it? Like, you have to be in our cult or you're wrong. Of course, Mark Ruffalo is no stranger to outspoken activism. Over the years, he's been a prominent voice in environmental movements. His activism extends beyond climate issues, encompassing political and social justice causes. Ruffalo's recent outburst reminds one of his social media fit following the U.S. Supreme Court 6-3 decision granting former presidents immunity from criminal prosecution over official acts during their tenure. The actor expressed his disapproval by drawing parallels to historic events, posting this on X. I'm going to show you the post, but if you see the post, you will know why I am not reading the post. But the reason the post has to do with this story has to do with the fact of Mark Ruffalo being a Disney actor, just like Gina Carano was a Disney actor, and something that happened to Gina for posting something with, let's say, much less offensive than this post, but some degree of similarities, if you will. So, he accompanied the post with a reference to the 1933 German Enabling Act, which granted the chief executive unmatched powers to create and enforce his own laws. Ruffalo appeared to suggest that SCOTUS ruling undermined democratic checks and balances in a way similar to that of Germany back in the 30s, which would be a direct comparison between U.S. presidents and Hitler back then. With this comparison was met with criticism from various quarters, including former Star Wars actress Gina Carano. And this is what, I mean, here's a big deal. Every single post like this is going to affect the Gina Carano versus Disney lawsuit. So Carano, who was previously terminated by Disney for sharing a meme that likened the treatment of conservatives in modern America to that of Jews under the 1930s Germany, responded to Ruffalo's statements on X. Double standards on full display, she said. It's a constant and obvious elephant in the room in Hollywood. There is example after example, such as Mark Ruffalo's below, that prove this, whom, by the way, I believe should have the right to express himself without getting fired, although I cringe at most all of his political posts. He's an actor, but he is a human being passionately engaging in something that he feels strongly about. It must be a nice feeling to be able to express yourself so freely.
Yeah,
Carano
exactly.
is currently
So
suing the Walt
freely.
Disney Company. Yeah, right. So depending if you work for the Disney company, depending on your particular stance, you can express yourself freely. However, if you have a stance that's different from the upper level executives in a tiny little bubble there, then you can't. Carano is currently suing the Walt Disney Company for wrongful termination and discrimination. She's backed in this lawsuit by none other than Elon Musk. She further added, not everyone in this country has that privilege without having everything that they love taken from them. Do we wonder why he has that privilege and I did not? Well, the answers are in my case. Ruffalo has also addressed controversies surrounding Project 2025, attributing the controversial list of conservative actions to Trump, which, of course, the incoming president repeatedly denied. Ruffalo characterized the initiative as a threat to various civil liberties, going so far as to label it Trump's American Taliban. Except the problem with that is that President Trump he's never even read it, so he doesn't really know what it is. I want to get your take on this whole story before we move on any further on this. What do you think about what Mark Ruffalo said, Erica?
I mean, just like any other celebrity or anyone in Hollywood, just ignore them. They don't know what they're talking about. They're ignorant. Um, I mean, it's just, ignorance begets ignorance. And all you can do is just roll your eyes and laugh at this stuff anymore nowadays because it's so redundant and commonplace now. It's not even shocking anymore. Um, I think what's shocking for me is people believing this stuff, and we're in the information era. Like, if you're ignorant, you're choosing to be ignorant these days.
Do you think
Um,
that Elon Musk is any less of an environmental champion? I mean, do you think that he's going to stop production on all the Tesla vehicles because he's, I mean, like, what do you, like, how does it make any sense is my
I mean,
biggest question. Is like,
at the end of the day, he's a businessman, so I would assume that he's gonna make decisions that are going to be financially beneficial to him, but at the same time, he's also an inventor. He likes to push the envelope with innovation, so, no, I don't see him quitting the whole electric car business. If anything, he'll just wanna keep improving on it and keep pushing the envelope moving forward. Um, and this blithering idiot over here, doesn't see that because he can't see past the end of his own nose. They're so brainwashed and blinded that the
I
one little issue you disagree on, they automatically label you like the extreme right, when it could be just that one issue you may have a different view on. That doesn't mean anyone is completely left or completely right. But
Well,
these
that's
people,
what's so
they can't
funny
see
to
that.
me. The only thing that Trump even tasked Musk with is actually getting our budget in check. Like, literally, that's all the guy's tasked with, is getting our budget in check in the United States. Like, over a little bit of budgetary oversight, which totally makes sense. Like, don't we kind of need budgetary oversight in this country? If spending is out of control with the country right now, and because of that, the economy is a shambles. And I know that they want to have you believe that the economy's good because we're no longer at 9% inflation. But here's the problem: with that 9% inflation that we had, the prices had become so inflated that in order to correct it, you would need deflation, and we still have inflation. We still have like 2.5-3% inflation. And by the way, it's actually much more than that with things like groceries. Look, when I go to the store and it was $4 for 5 dozen eggs a few years ago, and now it's $16, $17, $20 for that same 5 dozen eggs, and they're the exact same types of eggs. It's ridiculous. Chocolate, oh my gosh, chocolate is crazy priced. It's nuts nowadays. It just regular things that people go to the store and need to buy, and people aren't making as much money. And our budget in the United States is out of control. Family budgets are out of control. That's all Elon wants to help with. And here's Mark Ruffalo trying to, go crazy because Elon backed Trump.
Just playing into the media's hand on trying to cause division between Trump and Elon. And that's what the left does. They, it's divide and conquer. It's I hate to say it, but in some ways are good at that. But that's all they really know how to do. But people have, smartened up. It showed in the election, and they're just grabbing at straws because they're not nearly as relevant as they thought they were. And they're realizing that, and then they're lashing out even more on X, and they're increasingly becoming less relevant. So, this stuff like this, I just laugh at and just roll my eyes at, and it is what it is. People are you're gonna have people like this. Could be worse. It could be a flat earther,
That's true. I mean, and it's weird. I know a lot of people like they're flat earthers that are technically on the right. It's just weird, but whatever. Ruffalo's vehement statements have ignited a firestorm of reactions across Hollywood and social media. While some commend his stance on issues, others express concern over potential for alienating allies and oversimplifying complex political matters. This attack also comes at a time when many conservatives are starting to turn on Musk due to his vocal support of the H-1B visa program, which is also ridiculous. I mean, it's a necessary program. How do you feel about Mark Ruffalo attacking Elon Musk? I think that the attacks are wrong. A lot of times what I see from the left is projecting. In this case, I don't think it is, but every time they call Trump a fascist, every time look, the fascists are the people that want to take away our freedom of speech. There's no way that's anybody on the right now, because everybody on the right wants to give us our freedom of speech. It's the left that doesn't like anything other than their viewpoint being discussed in media whatsoever. So let's take a look at some of these. Let's take a look at some of these comments. It ain't like climate doesn't still need champions, no matter who won the election. Exactly. I mean, I don't. Here's my thought on the climate. Do I believe that climate change is dangerous? I do. Do believe that it's man-made? I believe that man has a very minor effect, negative effect on the climate, but we are better off to try and adjust to what the climate is doing rather than to try to change the climate itself, because it's very, very difficult to. We don't have. As mankind, we have a very, very, this is true science. Like, I actually know the science behind this myself. I've studied it. We don't have a tremendously huge effect. We're not getting rid of the ozone layer or any of that kind of stuff. There's no, it's not happening. So it is something that we should address and something that we should make adjustments in our lifestyles to and things like that. But there are certain things that we do that do nothing for the environment. We recycle trash. It does nothing to help the environment whatsoever. It's actually, if you really get into studying recycling and what that does, it's kind of more to make people feel good than anything else. It's actually not cost effective. It's pretty bad. There's a lot of other things like that. I've personally been studying this since 1992. And there's a reason for that. It's because in 1992, I went to work for Six Flags, and I was in a show. And one of the shows that we did that year at Six Flags was entitled Reduce, Reuse, Recycle. And the whole show was about
I
taking care
remember
of the
that
environment.
slogan.
Reduce, reuse,
They
recycle.
taught us that in school.
Exactly.
We had like little
So my point is,
programs.
because I was championing that in 1992, so I started studying it big time, and I realized we as humans aren't nearly doing the damage to the environment. They say it's not a crisis; it is something to be addressed, something to be looked at, adjusted, make the adjustments, try to do good things for it. But the fact of the matter is, we can do very little, and it's not a crisis. The biggest crisis right now that nobody seems to be talking about is human trafficking. That's a whole nother discussion, and I don't want to get into it, but it is 1,000 million billion whatever percent the absolute biggest crisis in the world right now is human trafficking, and we should be discussing that like nothing else. I know Trump is very much against it, so that's very helpful. The Biden administration never even mentioned it, so to the best of my knowledge. It's good to know that my take about Ruffalo and Cheadle being horrifically miscast in the MCU still holds up. Yeah. I like the way that he portrayed Banner, Cheadle. Both of those people, as far as their individuals, I've actually gotten in Twitter fights with Cheadle before, because of certain things years ago that he made fun of, and I'm like, why is this guy even addressing me? I'm nothing to him. It was weird. Canadian Family Life is in the house. Hi, all. Love Gina's mic drop at the end there. It's true. I think that she is going to win her case with flying colors. I don't know if it'll be a settlement. I don't know what the outcome will be. I really hope that all of this is going against the way Disney has been for the last 4 years, the way it's been operating, and that we see a shift of even if there are leftist leaders at Disney, I hope they see the writing on the wall and shift towards, in content. And I don't think they're going to. Problem shift to the center. I just don't think they're going to. I think it's going to be. I think it's going to take a change in Disney leadership or ownership to change Disney, to truly change Disney. Because I think Bob Iger wants his legacy to be about changing the culture, and that's not Disney's job. Disney's job is to entertain. To express oneself free of fear. How utterly American. Well, yes, it is, and it should be how everyone feels. People who believe this, just as dumb as they are. Don't forget those who think we didn't land on the moon. Yes, I know that whole thing. Media using climate to fear and money. Even if the U.S. and Europe took measures, you can't stop volcanoes. That is true. It would be like stopping cows from farting, which is another of their big things, is trying to reduce the amount of meat that we eat and change it over to cockroaches or something else. I mean, that's like, stop that stuff. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, thank you.
By the way, speaking of eating meat, I loved that pork pernil and that pork shoulder, and I love a good pot roast too. So shush, I will eat all the steak I want.
Yep.
In China, India and China are the biggest countries. If they don't, then it won't change. You're absolutely right. As far as contributing to, the problems that we do have with the climate, China and India are the two biggest, and they are doing nothing to address it. And people forget the climate. Guess what it does? It circles the earth. So something created in the air in one place, that air moves and ends up in another place. I mean, it's so ridiculous. And then, you can't stop a tsunami. Dan's Life with the Kingdom says, so I want to thank Erica for being here today. Erica, where else can people find you at?
Find us at Erica-Raph on YouTube. I'm currently last minute editing a video of how we celebrate New Year's here. I found footage from last year, because this year we had really bad fog, so I couldn't get any good footage. So I'm editing last year's to put out there so you guys can see all the crazy in our village. And I got some Christmas videos I still need to put out. We kind of got delayed because of medical stuff. So that's down the pipeline.
if you're
Hopefully in the
now,
next week, I'm really going to be going at it.
you're in Germany, so I'm kind of hoping to see some Krampus videos. Is that you have Krampus
and
over
they
there?
they have a Krampus Christmas market out here. We've never been to it. I don't even know where it is in Germany, but I've heard of it. But yeah, that's what we got going on right now. Just and then
like
trying to figure out what other stuff we could vlog. It's not the holidays. It's not Halloween. So I'm like, oh, we're back to just regular, ordinary time.
Yeah, I liked the Krampus stuff that was in Red One. It was pretty funny. There's the Krampus slapping the rock and knocking him across the floors. That's pretty funny. And as far as I'm concerned, we will be doing more news-related story videos on the channel. Follow the Bradley's Fun. My wife was live yesterday, and I think she got 150 new subscribers during her live yesterday. So follow her on Virginia Bradley Adventures. And I should be on the WDW Pro Show today. I know I'm going to be on T3PO later. A lot going on there. And my news commentary shows are called Findings Under the Fedora. Actually, I think I just call them Fedora Finds. So you will see a lot more of those coming out on the channel. Thank you guys so much for coming in today. Going Shogi. Whoops, my phone died during the night. I will have to catch the replay. Uh-oh, that's okay. You can catch the replay. But since you were able to come in before we head out the door, let's do one last celebration. Erica, celebrate with me. If you have your custom emojis, get ready in the chat. We are going to celebrate.
Too much? Too much? It's a perfect! Wahoo! Oh, that's too much. Give me a break. I couldn't be more excited. Okay, this anticipation is making me mental. But if they say yes, you can be on the show. I think I would go so crazy.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for being here today. Thank you, Erica, from Erica and Raph. And thank you, everybody that is in the chat. And until tomorrow, or until, I don't know, WDW Pro later today, or T3PO, or whatever else it may be, Erica and I will see you real soon. Thank you, everybody. Ciao. Bye-bye.